all fours. So get yourself a nice comfy mat or a large towel and onto all fours. You can put cushions under your knees if you've got a problem, but I've got arthritic knee and I'm usually fine. We're going to have the shoulders, the elbows and the wrists or the heel of the hand all in line. Nice straight back so we're not here and we're not there. Thumbs pulled in and your knees are directly underneath your hips and you've got a nice right angle in the knee, the calf. Okay. So I get lots of complaints of people's wrists hurting, so we're just going to do a little exercise to warm them up. So all we're going to do is rock to one side and kind of rotate in a circle. So bringing the weight slightly forward so you feel a little bit of pressure on the wrist. Make sure your fingers are spread. So we're going to do about 5 in each direction. So this will be the 5th one. Just breathing normally and then take it back the other way. Make sure your thumb's in. That's it. Now, we're going to just turn the fingertips out. I don't know whether you can see mine there. So they're just, fingertips are pointing away from the body. And we're just going to rock from side to side just so you feel a little bit of pressure on those wrists, just to warm them up. And then bring them back in and just give them a little shake if you need to. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to warm up that back. So what we're going to do is we're going to let the chest fall towards the floor without that bending the arms, and the shoulder blades will just come together. Now let your lower back relax a little bit, that's it. And just let the head drop. Now you're going to push the mat away with your hands until your upper back comes into an arch, and you're going to tuck your tailbone under, pulling the belly button all the way to the spine. Okay? And let your head come back to a neutral. And again, you're going to let your shoulder blades come together and have a little kiss. It feels all wrong, I know. And it's difficult to do without wanting to bend your arms, but keep your arms nice and long. Let the back relax, let the head drop. Okay, now tuck that tailbone under and push the floor away with your hands and arch to the back. So we're going into kind of like a cat stretch, I suppose. Head comes back to a neutral position. And again, let the shoulder blades come together. Let the tailbone lift and the lower back relax. Head drop down. And then push the floor away. Tuck in that tailbone, head comes back to a neutral. Okay, from there, we're just going to sit back on our heels. If you can't do that, then come onto your forearms and stick your bum in the air. That's another little way you can stretch. But if you can, push back. So this is the optimum position, but if you're in this position, I will give you an alternative. Okay? So from here, we're just going to make sure the tongue's pulled in, and we're just going to bring the weight forward and just stretch it out, bringing the weight fully in front. The hips will drop. And then bring it back. If you're in this position with your tailbone lifted, you're just going to move slightly forward. It will not be a big movement, but it's fine, we will get there. So, the next time we do it, we're just going to tuck the tailbone a little bit, and we're going to come forward and lengthen and unravel that spine. You want to go as far as you're comfortable going, and see curve it back. Not doing too many, just one more. Tuck the tailbone under, and come forward. And then take it back on the C curve. And then just relax. Just a quick stretch for the shoulders, coming back onto all fours, thumbs pulled in. You're just going to take one arm underneath, have a listen to what the mat's got to say, and you should feel a little bit of a stretch across the shoulders. And then do it on the other side. Just listen to what the mat's got to say, take a breath into hold, and as you breathe out, bring it back. Just one more on each side. Just hold for that inhale, exhale, and bring it back to centre. Last one. And bring it back. Okay. So just check your positioning, make sure your thumb's pulled in and everything's centred. And you're just going to lift your right hand just millimetres off the floor, less is more. And you should get just a little bit of connection with your abdominals. And place it down and do the other. See if one arm lifts up quite easily and the other one gives you a little bit of trouble. Place it down, just one more inside. It gets easier the more that you do. The first one's always the hardest. Okay. And place it down. Now, same with the knees. So we're just going to float one off. We're trying not to do this, it's just literally float. Place it down and the other one. And again, one more on each leg, just breathing normally. So the movement is slight. Okay, taking a little break for your wrist, whichever one suits. Taking a couple of breaths and let the breath go down to your lower back. So your lower back, you should feel it expand. And then just let the breath go nice and slow. And then when you're ready, come back up onto all fours. Okay. So now we've done the hands and we've done the knees, we're going to do both. So I'm not bothered which hand you use first, it's not really necessary, it's not really, as long as you remember. So you're going to float, I'll float off the hand nearest the screen, so I'm going to float this hand off, happens to be my right, and my left knee. And I'm just going to hover there for a second. Now the longer you hover, the harder it is. If you find you're wobbling at this stage, that's fine. Stabilisers are working. Place it down, and then the other side. Small lift. Less is more, remember, because this is, you know, it's quite easy. The smaller the movements, the harder they are. I find it more difficult on this side. And again, once more on each side. And then bring it down. The other side. And bring it down. Take a little break, just below the wrists. And then come back up. Okay, so now we're just going to curl the toes underneath the feet. We're going to bring the weight just slightly forward, ever so slightly, and it's important that we do the breath with this one. So we're going to take a breath into those lungs, so the lungs are going to go out to the side, and as we breathe out, and it's important to let the breath go, you're just going to float your knees off the floor. So we're going to take a breath in, and as we breathe out, a little lift of the knees, and then come back down. And again, take a breath in. Let the breath go. Take a breath in to hold. And as we breathe out, we come down. Okay? And again, breath in, lift. Hold for a breath and breathe out to come down. 2 more, please. If you've had enough, then you stop and sit back on your heels. And breath in. Breathe out. Okay, quite a tough one on the wrist, that one. We'll just have a little rest. Coming back onto all fours, you're just going to extend one leg behind you. I'm just going to move forward a little bit so you can see. Okay, and we're going to have the foot flexed, toes onto the mat. We're just going to lift this leg up using the gluteals and then drop it down. That's it. So we're just going to do 10 of these. This is fairly easy. You can do it here if your wrists are screaming. So this is number 5. What I don't want to see is that. Yep. It's just a small lift. You can keep the pelvis square to the floor. I think we've got 3 left. I'm not very good at counting. Bring it in. Take a little break if you need to for your wrists. And then go on to the other leg. It straightens. We flex the foot, pushing away with that heel. And we lift. There's no movement in the back. Toes pulled in. sure there's no tension in the shoulders, and we've not let the head hang down. There's no need to look at your own boobs. Look at somebody else's, they're always more interesting. Last one. And then bring it in. Put your bottom on your heels and take a little stretch. From there, we're just going to tuck that tailbone under, let the belly button come from to the spine, let the head drop down. And then the tailbone comes up, we unravel the spine, lifting the chest like you're torching your cleavage that you're shining to the wall in front. And then inhale. And then exhale. Or the other way around if it suits. And again. One more. And have a little shake of the wrists, and well done, we finished.